Today, I thought I would share with you what I'm doing, which is building businesses and helping people build their business. And to do that, we're going to review the seven key areas, seven key domains to grow and to run your event business. And obviously, if you have any question afterwards, reach out to me. Enjoy those seven key domains to grow and run your business. Today, I would like to talk about seven key domains to grow and run your event business. I have been a business builder all my life and help people build their business. And I realize, especially if you own your business in the meetings and event industry, that you need an MBA, a PhD, a emergency management certificate, and everything that is coming up with the function, which is like crazy. But also, when you have your own business, it's sometimes very difficult to be able to focus on what matters, to be able to structure your business, and also to be able to speak with other people. We very often feel alone and don't know who to talk to. So I'm going to go through seven key domain to grow and run your business. And for each of them, I will just suggest one book to read. There's obviously many to read in each case, but I'll recommend one that could help you with that. So the first one and the first aspect is to be able to define your vision and your strategy. I know it's sometimes very difficult if people are asked, so how do you see your business in 5 years, in 7 years, 10 years? There's a way. Also, I have a 5-step process that's too long to explain in this podcast, but I have another podcast where I go into detail with that. But basically, you are able to define your vision and then work backwards. And in order to do that, you obviously need to think about what are the things that you like, where do you see your life, and also define the strategy to get there. If you want to be able to do an Ironman and you don't know how to swim, the first thing is to hire a teacher that will help you to learn how to swim. So to be able to define your vision and your strategy is a key element that will always guide the decision that you're making. If it fits your strategy, if it fits your vision, then it's something you want to contemplate doing. And if not, and sometimes very difficult, just to say no. And it is not in my vision. It's not part of the strategy. It's a nice thing to do in the future. You're riding down into a parking lot, then remain focused on what is it that you want to be doing. One great book to define your strategy, to look at your business model, is The Business Model Canvas from Alex Osterwalder. Basically, you have a one sheet that I divide in different boxes, different questions that you need to answer, starting from your value proposition, the different channel where you reach your customer, different partners you work with, cost, revenue, and so on and so forth. The interesting story is that actually Alex was doing a PhD on business model, and it became his business. So it's the business model canvas, which is actually in the book Business Model Generation. So the title of the book is Business Model Generation, and if you Google Business Model Canvas, you will have this one sheet that will help you to, you filling it out and realize that there are some gaps in your strategy, in your business model, and you can work on it. So that's the first thing, your vision and your strategy. The second thing is building your dream team and building your culture. Nobody does it alone. And I know that especially if you're a one-person company and you start with your business, you would think that nobody is doing it as good as you would do. I know, I've been there. The challenge is obviously if you want to grow, forget about it if you're doing everything. The challenge there as well is to be able to delegate, and to tackle that challenge is to realize what are the things that you are doing and also what are the things that you're spending your time on. What are the different elements that you can actually delegate? And when you start thinking about delegation, nobody again is going to do it 100% as great as you would. And if it's delivered 80% of what you would be doing, it's good enough for the customer. And that's how you start building your business and grow your business, because obviously you can rely on other people. I love to use this tool called Predictive Index, which is helping you define exactly the profile of the person and who the candidate, if that candidate would be good for that profile. It's fascinating. It's 10 minutes questionnaire, and all the data that you can get from that is fascinating. So that's how you start building your dream team. Obviously, delegating, looking at your strategy, looking at the different roles and responsibilities, being able to recruit people, and building your culture. And to build your culture is an ongoing process. It's like a reputation. It takes years to build it and 10 seconds to destroy it. Building culture means that you define what is important for you, your mission statement, your values, that you recruit based on those values, that you fire based on those values, that you manage based on those values. Again, it doesn't mean that you have to be the person running the company on a daily basis, but it has to always come back to the values that you want to instill and the culture you want to create within your company. A good book to read in terms of building your team and delegation and how to organize yourself is Who, Not How, from the famous Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy. A very good book that I recommend to read that will help you as well define where you want to focus your attention and who you should be hiring to build your team. The third element, the third key element to a key area to grow and to run your business is obviously sales. If you don't get sales, if you don't have customer, there's no business. So the sales acceleration process, it's basically three different domains. The first one is the pitch. The second one is the processes. The third one is the pipeline. The pitch that you have, I recommend to have two different type of pitches. One for the people that can actually buy from you, and second from the people that could become a referral for you, that they know somebody else who could buy from you, but they will not be directly a customer for what you do. So obviously pitches takes time to practice, and then it's become totally natural. The second aspect is the processes, the playbook, the what is happening since you're reaching out to a prospect up to the point they're becoming customer, and when they are a customer, what are the different touch points. So really looking at all the different processes, looking at all the different touch points, and writing your playbook. You would see that regardless of your business and regardless of the city you work in, the type of services you're providing, there usually are maximum 10 to 15 objections that are always the same. And when you have that playbook, which is good for you to always come back and prepare those objections and the answers to those objections, it's also the tool that you're going to use to train people that are going to do sales for you, and to make sure that they're all speaking at the same voice and that you are providing the prospect and the customer with the same element, the same information, the same key messages. So again, that's a process that need to be taken few weeks at best. It is an ongoing process where you can always add if there's a new objection that you were not tackling. But when you have that, that's a great element as well to grow and start running your business. And the last part of the sales acceleration, besides the pitches, besides the operation, is the pipeline. What tools do you use? What CRM, customer relationship management, are you using? Which software are you using? So that you're keeping track of all the contact you've had with prospect customer, that you're keeping track of their preferences, that you're keeping track of their birthday, they're keeping track of what is it that they like, so that you can always go back to them and share information that is of interest for your customer. So that's the third element, the third key domain area that you need to look at to grow and run your business. The fourth one, guess what? It's marketing. Oh, and before I go that, sorry, I forgot to share a book as I promised. So going back quickly to sales acceleration, one book that I recommend from Daniel Pink is To Sell is Human. I love everything that Daniel Pink is writing about, but this one is particular, really relates to sales. So sorry about forgetting that. So again, key domain area. The first one, vision and strategy. The second one, dream team and culture. The third one's sales acceleration. And now we're going into the marketing part. The marketing part, how are you going to differentiate yourself? How are you going to position yourself? Remember the story of Hertz and Avis and all the other rental car company, where everybody was saying every year that they were the number one. And guess what? Every year, Hertz was coming back as the number one. And then there was a kind of cloud of everybody else. Avis, Enterprise, Budget, National, all the companies were in one cloud. And it was a clear number one, Hertz, and then the rest. Until one day, some genius came to Avis and said, you know what? We're not going to be number one. Certainly not in the coming years because it's too far to reach Hertz right now. But what we can do is differentiating ourselves from the rest of the pack. And that person came up with this amazing slogan, we try harder. Why would you come to us? We only number two, because we try harder. And sure enough, at the end of the year, Hertz was still number one. There was still the pack of other car rental companies, but clearly positioned in number two, much further than the rest of the pack was Avis. So marketing is extremely important. And in marketing, there's also the networking aspect. And if you like me, a recovering introvert, I'll give you a little trick here today. I never go to any type of function on my own. I always try to find somebody I know or go with someone so we can start introducing each other. And then the rest goes much more easily. But networking is a very important aspect. Keeping in touch with people is an extremely important aspect. And you never know what can happen. So I like helping others because you know that one day or another, something would happen for yourself. And so in terms of the networking and in terms of the CRM and linking everything, the more you know about someone, the more you help people, the more it will benefit you in the long term. That's my philosophy. And in terms of marketing and differentiation, one of the best in the world is definitely Seth Godin. And I recommend his book, Purple Cow, where you will learn a lot about that topic. The fifth key domain and area that you want to look at to grow and to run your business are the critical numbers. Yeah, I know you might not be a CPA or passionate about numbers, but guess what? If you have not a good grasp on your numbers, you're not going to have a company for very, very long. And as much as I hate building an Excel sheet myself, I love looking at the numbers and looking at the financials and trying to understand where we can have an impact, where we can invest, when we can have some savings, and also have this dashboard, which is made of 5 to 7 KPIs, so key performance indicators, which allow me every week to look at the business and how things are progressing. This is extremely important. It's not rocket science. And as anything in your business, if you don't like to do it or if you believe that it's not your wheelhouse, there's always plan B, which is to hire the right person to do that for you. But numbers are extremely important. So I strongly encourage you to build your dashboard, to know which number matters for you and to measure them. And just give you an example. What we call a lead measure and lag measure. Lag measure would be, for instance, what are your total revenue at the end of the year, which is great, but it's measuring the past. Now, the lead measure would be to measure, for instance, the number of sales calls you're doing, because you know that if you do, I don't know, 50 sales calls, you're going to have 25 offers to make. You're going to have 20 discussion with a client, and you're going to have 10 projects that are going to be confirmed, for instance. So you know that if you want to have 10 projects confirmed and you need to make 50 sales calls, you know that every day, if you have to make a certain number of sales calls, that's a lead measure. You know that by doing that is going to have an impact on your total revenue at the end of the year. Just a quick example for lag measures and lead measures, but coming back to the most important point, which is you need to have your numbers, you need to know your numbers, and you need to know what you are measuring. A book that I strongly recommend when it comes to financials is the book Simple Numbers 2.0 from Greg Crabtree. Greg's phenomenal person, and he knows his business like no one else. And his book is very clear. It's easy to read and to understand. If not, I would not be able to do so. It's extremely well explained and give you an idea of what type of numbers you would want to measure in your business. The sixth element, which is important to grow and to run your business, it's guess what? Execution plan. You need to have a plan in place. You need to know what you're going to be doing. You need to know who's going to do that. You need to understand what are the important tasks you need to focus on every day. And you need to understand as well what matters for your team, for yourself, for your company, and be able to manage and delegate that. But the action plan, the execution plan, is really the plan that is going to help you grow and run your business. And as long as you've defined it and as long as everybody's aligned with it, it's becoming a management tool for you. Once again, you're not the person executing everything, but you are the person who is kind of controlling and looking at the plan, making sure that everybody knows their responsibilities and making sure that every week people are delivering on what they should be doing. To write an execution plan, it's basically all the consequences of the previous point I just mentioned today. Again, it is not rocket science, but it's something to be put in place that becomes a management tool for you. And it is the one book that if you haven't read it yet, it's a classic. It's extremely well explained, and it ends up as well with the plan is the E-Myth from Michael Gerber. It's basically starting from you're alone, and then you have to define the processes, and then you have to end up with a plan for the entire business. If you haven't read it, I strongly recommend you maybe even start with that before anything else. And last but certainly not least, what do you think is the most important when you have all this, when you have your execution plan, when you know about sales and marketing and everything? It is, yes, the accountability. Without accountability, nothing is happening. Whether it is for your business, whether it is for your health, whether it is for sports, whatever it is that you decide to tackle in your life, you need to have accountability. A good trick to have accountability is be able to rely on others and to commit to others and get the support of others. And as far as I'm concerned, I have an accountability buddy for 4 or 5 years at least. Greg, if you're listening, you'll tell me exactly how many years. We meet every week. And we say, these are the things I'm going to be doing next week. And if somebody said, for instance, one of us said, I'm going to finalize my marketing plan, great. It's not enough to say I've done it. We have to show it to each other. So accountability is absolutely essential. It is the little things that you do every day that are going to have an impact on the business that you're running. It's all the priorities you decide to tackle every week, every month, every quarter. Everything is linked from the vision to the accountability. And without it, nothing is happening. So it's not only about your accountability, it's accountability of your team, but is an essential, is really a mindset of execution and making sure that the plan is executed. And again, a classic that you need to read if you haven't read it from James Clear is Atomic Habits, that gets you into the habits and into the accountability. So in summary, if you want to grow and run your business, you need to tackle those 7 key areas. 1 is vision and strategy. 2 is dream team and culture. 3, it's sales acceleration. 4 is marketing. 5 is critical numbers. 6 is execution plan. And 7 is accountability. And in terms of accountability, if you need that, or if you need someone to help you define this plan, to help you grow your business, to help you run your business, reach out to me. I do have some programs that will be helpful to you. That's what I love doing, building business and helping others building their business. Thank you and have a great day. I hope you find some valuable information and already have some ideas for your business. Once again, if I can help you, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can do that on LinkedIn. And if you learn something that you want to share with your network, please do so. Thank you and talk soon.